welcome back. Today I have for you a few simple seated poses or simple seated stretches which target flexibility in your hamstrings and your hips and will hopefully improve your guard retention if you do it enough. So today I'm just going to show you a preview of these poses, but I recommend definitely pausing the video and taking as long as you want on each pose, maybe 1 to 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes. So to begin, we're going to start in a pose you may already know. It's kind of a stretch which is done by people in many different sports. And in yoga, it's called the bound angle pose. So for this, you want to sit up straight to begin with. You want to ground your thighs, really trying to keep the thighs active here and push towards the ground. But there's a few modifications you can do if it's uncomfortable for you. You can place a block underneath your thigh here, or 2 blocks, just kind of rest and take that instability away from the knees. Or you can sit on a block here, and it'll make the next step of this stretch it'll make the next step easier. So the next step is we're going to fold forward here. If it is too much for you, you can also move the legs out. You can do a variation of the pose where you come and have your hands underneath your calves here and feel the stretch without too much tension on the knees. But if you want to try it, you can come forward, keep your back straight and hinge from the hips, and then eventually round forward in the upper body and bring your forehead down. But if it is too difficult to keep the lower back straight, you can round from the beginning. But you should be feeling it here in the hips for this pose. For the next one, we're going to start by bringing our foot to the corner of the mat or whatever space you're in. You just want to extend it away from your body. We're going to take our left foot and put it on the inner right thigh here. And we're going to begin to hinge from the hips forward. Before that, you actually want to turn your hips towards your foot and flex the feet, and then hinge forward here. If it is too much on your hamstring, again, you can use a block, and you can kind of release that if you really want to try and go deep into the stretch here. You can grab your calf, hands on the mat, and grab your foot, and your goal here is to keep your back fairly straight while then rounding the head down, just as we did in the previous pose. Now we can take it to the other side. Again, foot to the inner thigh. Look at turn your hips so that they're facing your flexed foot. Bend forward into the head beneath those here. And you can also do the middle splits. You want to take your legs out, and it targets both of them at the same time, but doing head to knee is kind of one at a time. And here you can also sit on a block, or if you're already here and you just find the place where it's not painful for you, where you feel a stretch, but you're still holding the pose. So you can come here, you can sit on the block, but if you can start moving forward and just slowly easing into a pose. And the more you hold it, the more you'll relax, and the more you will deepen into the pose. So that is the middle splits. And then we'll come up onto our feet here. We'll spread the legs wide, and we'll come into a kind of a side lunge position. So you want to point the foot at an angle here, or to the corner of the mat if you have one, and you want to start coming down on your hands. For this, you're going to want to drop the butt. So you don't want to be up here. When you're here, you want to drop the butt so you can feel the hamstring. But if you're here, that's fine. If you can make it all the way down to the ground and flex the foot and just kind of hold your balance here. Or do the full pose, connect the hands. But I recommend definitely keeping your balance. So if you're here, that's totally fine. It doesn't matter how a pose looks, it just matters how it feels, so you get the benefit. So then we can swap sides, flex the foot here. Again, if you want to look up, you can. And come back into the middle, and we'll go into a wide-legged forward fold. So turn your feet so they're facing forward. And then bend down, place your hands on the mat. Maybe get your forehead down. Keep the back long and straight into wide-legged forward fold. So now we'll come onto our knees. And this next pose, I don't recommend if you have a knee injury, and it may be difficult for some people, but it's a really good hip opener if you want to give it a try. So to enter safely, we're going to take our left leg and put it behind our right leg. And then we're going to slowly sit back. If you feel any discomfort, come out of this. But you can slowly sit back into a variation of the cow face pose. So for this, you want legs to be stacked, so knees to be stacked, You want to hold on to your ankles, and we can again hinge forward from the hips to complete the pose here. But if you want to remain here and you're already feeling a really good hip stretch, that's completely fine as well. There are again modifications you can do, like taking a block, putting it in between your knees, sitting on a block, or putting a blanket in between. There are many ways to kind of make this feel a little bit better. And to come out, we're going to come forward, come on the knees, swap them. So right leg behind left leg this time, sit backwards, hold on to the feet, and again hinge forward. And I love that one feels so good. So we'll come out of it again into tabletop position here. Make like a V with your knees. And we're gonna go into this position called the frog pose, which kind of looks ridiculous, but it's really good. So we'll kind of take our feet out parallel with our knees and walk our knees a little bit more. If you need to walk your knees out like this, that's fine too, with keeping the feet in like a V. If this is fine and you don't want to put your ankles parallel with your knee, you can stay in this position. But if you want to go into the full frog posture, you can take your ankle and make it parallel with your knee here, and then come on down and really sit back into this pose. So you kind of want, you do want your knee and your hip to be, again, parallel here. So then you can come down, just kind of sink into this posture, and you can do this on your bed. You can do it, you can read a book, you can surf through Instagram. Sometimes I'll put some pillows here to make it a little more comfortable. And you can just, I hold this for 5 minutes a day because I love how it feels. So it's a fantastic pose to just kind of ease yourself into over time. And this is really good for jiu-jitsu because if we take it back up, if someone is pressuring one side of your leg in your guard, you can open up a little bit more with that posture. So there you have it, a few simple seated stretches to practice at home and improve flexibility.